So we mad at Ice Cube now? Were we mad at Ice Cube when he was calling us all sorts of bitches and hoes? This is really not a political video at all, so just calm down and give me a listen. And while you're at it, please hit the subscribe button, hit the bell for notifications, and like and share the video. Thank you. All right, so everybody knows Ice Cube came out talking about some contract with Black America. He was talking to the Trump administration, and I watched Black folk lose their mind. So I decided to wait a few days and see if I could gain some clarity on what Ice Cube was doing. So sure enough, he had an interview with Chris Cuomo on CNN where he spoke about what he was doing. And I'll link that up there somewhere and you can watch that video for yourself. So these are the facts straight from his mouth. So Ice Cube has this plan called the Contract with Black America. I have not read it. I don't even know if it's online or anything like that. I didn't go that deep into it because I was just flabbergasted by the reactions from Black people, especially Black women, and you know that's who I'm here for. He wants the government to recognize his plan and work to improve the lives of American descendants of slavery. He made that a point. He said he's not talking about brown people. He's not talking about people of color. He's talking about Black Americans who are descendants of slaves. Period. So I've seen a whole lot of headlines saying Ice Cube ran to Trump with his plan, and Ice Cube is endorsing Trump, and Ice Cube is going to vote for Trump. I know better than to read headlines. So I just waited to see what he was going to say. And in this interview, he said both the Trump administration and the Biden campaign reached out to him. The Biden campaign talked to him and said, well, we'll talk about this after the election. The Trump campaign said, let's meet and discuss this. So he met and discussed. That's it. So far, that's all that has happened. Now, Ice Cube said he's not red or blue. He's not Democrat or Republican. He is independent. He will work with whoever is in power to get his goals accomplished. He also said that's what all Black people should do. He also said that he believes all Black people should be independent and make these politicians offer something in exchange for our votes. And y'all are mad? Like, I don't get it. Some of y'all come from over here talking about, well, he's just a gangster rapper and he's foul and he's misogynistic and da-da-da. Yes, he's made that kind of music, probably still makes it. I don't know. I used to listen to him a long time ago when I was young. I don't know what he does now. But what I do know is he's doing more than most celebrities coming to tell you to vote and who to vote for, where he's actually trying to get something done and not tell you what to do. I think there are 3 reasons why a lot of Black people, especially Black women, are mad at Ice Cube. The number 1 reason is you read and listen to mainstream media and so-called Black publications that tell you what to think instead of researching and reading for yourself. It took me like 5 minutes to find Ice Cube's tweets where he explains himself and then to watch the interview where he explains himself. So I didn't have to listen to headlines or news pieces about what Ice Cube is doing or what he's going to do. I don't know what you read or what you believe, but let's get it straight. He did not run to the Trump administration. He did not ignore the Biden campaign. But you know what? So what if he did? Right now, Trump's the one in power. Biden can't do nothing for him right now. Trump can if he chooses. You can't get things done unless you get powerful people to help you. It's called being smart. The other headlines, he's voting for Trump. He's endorsing Trump. He's not doing that out of his own mouth. That's not what he's doing. But so what if he was? Is he not free to think and vote the way he wants to? Is he not free to endorse who he wants to? Or are we still on this because you black, you got to do things this way? You can't have an independent thought or you're not black. Sound like Joe Biden. You ain't black. The second reason that we're mad at Ice Cube. We first believed the lie that there is a black community, and then we believe the lies that this so-called community tells us. When I say there's no black community, this is why. Communities are based on common purposes, common values, common goals, not skin color. There are a whole bunch of black people in this world, and we all have different worldviews, different opinions, different ideas. There can't be one so-called black community telling us how to vote, how to talk, who to like, who to dislike, who to cancel, who to support. That's crazy. Skin folk ain't kinfolk. Just because we share melanin doesn't mean we share anything else. That whole black community thing is a lie. The community tells us that we are victims of oppression, that the government is the one oppressing us, and that it's the government's job to fix this problem. The community also tells us that Republicans are not to be trusted, that only Democrats are trustworthy, and they're the only ones able to fix the ills in the community. But black folk been voting primarily Democratic for the past 50, 60 years, and every election we're complaining about the same things. When the Democrats gonna fix the problems? Somebody tell me. I don't know. We follow leaders who have been saying this crap to us for years. And they keep spouting the same things over and over and over while they get rich off of our pain. And nothing ever changes. We follow these leaders who actually take no action. But we settle for symbolic victories like getting statues torn down or putting somebody's face on a postage stamp. Look, do that all you want to, but I'm saying, how does that help you in your everyday life? What have these so-called leaders done to make your life as a black person in America better, if that's what you're seeking? We'll talk about the whole personal responsibility thing later, but I'm just saying, what have these so-called leaders done but get rich off of your pain and show up when your relatives die in the streets? Oh, only if a white cop kills them, though. The last reason why we're mad at Ice Cube is because we have an illogical, uninformed allegiance to this mirage of black community. Black women especially are raised to fight for the black community, whether or not the reasons make sense or if they benefit us or not. We are the mules that go out and defend the lies and the foolishness of the community. And we do this to our own detriment. The lies the community tells never profit us as black women. Never. Case in point, the question I asked at the beginning of the video. Were we mad at Ice Cube when he was calling us bitches and hoes? No, we weren't. You know why? Because the community told us that was cool. The community told us if he's not talking about you, then why should you be mad? And so we drank that lie up like Kool-Aid. And so many of us, me included, walked around listening to NWA, Ice Cube when he went solo, Dr. Dre, all that good stuff. And we were demeaned and insulted every time we pushed play. But you know who benefited from it? I'm not even going to say it. This video ain't about them. It's not. It's about us. So like I said, the lies the community tells never profit us. They're meant to protect and coddle men, and so that these so-called black leaders can profit. So when you see a guy like Ice Cube start to move away from the lies and have an opinion that does not match the culture, we're trained automatically to attack him. That's what we've been programmed to do without thinking. It doesn't matter that his efforts are for the collective of black people. It doesn't matter that he's trying to get actual action to take place to benefit black people. All we know is he's saying something different than what we've been told to think. Therefore, he's bad and we have to go after him. Aren't you tired of being programmed and brainwashed? Or is it just too hard to think for yourself? If we really love black people, if we really love the black community, if we're really pro-black, if we want to see black people thrive, then we should want to deal with the truth, not lies, not propaganda. No real action can be taken if we don't know what the truth is, and if we're not willing to accept it, regardless of how it makes us feel. So as black women, we have to stop repeating these lies and living by these lies. We have to reject the lies. That's going to take reading, researching, actually listening to people talk instead of reading headlines or listening to news broadcasts and going along with what they say. They lie all the time. I swear I said that in another video. So if we reject the lie, we have to live in the truth. We need to work with whoever is willing to work with us in affecting the changes that we desire. Sitting back and getting mad at people who are actually trying to do something does nothing to make your life better. All you're doing is sitting there complaining, and mad at the person who wants to do something because they're not doing it the way you think they should be doing it. But guess what? They're actually doing it. Novel idea, huh? Lastly, but most importantly, we have to stop the foolishness. As black women, we need to understand that what we have to think about ourselves and our children first, not the black community, not the black culture, not if they approve of what we're doing. We have to think about what benefits ourselves and our children first. We can't reject things because the community doesn't see the wisdom of it. We have to think about, do we see the wisdom of it? How will this help me? How will this help my family? How will this help my children? Not just take what the black community tells us to think and go along with it and keep remaining in the same situations. If you look at statistics, if you look around you, our community is not getting better. It's getting worse. And that's because we allow it. We go along with it. All in the name of some kind of fake unity. But you can't have unity built on lies and propaganda. It has to be built on the truth. Ice Cube talked with the Trump administration. One of two things could happen. Nothing, absolutely nothing. Or the Trump administration could actually have some course of action and put it into law, and it benefits us. If that's the case, and all of a sudden there are benefits for black American descendants of slaves, are you going to not take advantage of those benefits because Republicans signed off on it? Or are you going to take advantage of every benefit at every opportunity so you can level up your standard of living and help yourself and your children? If you're one of those who don't matter to you, if Ice Cube is successful, if Trump signs it, you don't want no parts of it, you won't take advantage of whatever comes out of it, then you know what? You can leave now. I ain't got nothing else to say to you. You can keep on being a mule and a victim. Bye-bye. I know there are those of you out there who relate to what I'm saying. You're my tribe, and you're the ones that I want to talk to your other sisters. I want you to like this video. I want you to subscribe to this channel. I want you to get this message that we have to reject these lies, live in the truth, and stop the foolishness. It's not just cute hashtags or sayings. It's something that I believe black women need to do to have a better standard of life. We need to realize that the truth is the truth, no matter who says it. We don't have to like them. It's not about our emotions all the time. We have to learn to recognize what the truth is. And if someone is speaking the truth, we need to agree with the truth. It doesn't mean you're endorsing them. It doesn't mean you like them. It just means that you are wise enough to know the truth when you hear it. And after being bombarded with the lies of the black community and culture, it's not going to be easy to not believe the things you used to believe when there's evidence to tell you that that's not true. It's going to take time. Researching and reading take time. That means we have to do a little bit of work. But if at the end of it, we come out of this with a clearer vision of what's true and a plan on how to use the truth to raise our standard of living so that we have healthy families and healthy communities, the work will be worth it. Not only is taking the time hard, but it's going to be hard to stand up to the black community. You see what happens anytime any black person dares to say something different than what we've been programmed to believe. I never thought I'd see the day when Ice Cube would be called a sellout or a coon. That's some straight foolishness. But if you can see that, you see how it operates. Anytime black people think differently than the group think that we've been programmed to think, all of a sudden, no matter how much we were loved before, now we're coons and sellouts and Uncle Toms. Side note, people who call you Uncle Tom don't even know what Uncle Tom means. So ladies, we got a fight ahead of us. Are you up for the fight? If so, leave me a comment. Send an email to hello@rejectconnectcorrect.com. Share this video, talk about it. Go to the Facebook page for Reject Connect Correct and leave your comments there. We really need to start a conversation about how black women, without waiting for anybody else, without waiting for men, without waiting for the community, we just take a stand and decide to do what's right for ourselves and our children. All right, so that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.